Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
A Kansas man retired from the Marine Corps after Vietnam. He then joined another branch of the military. KSN's Hannah Adamson and photojournalist Nick Kiefer share his story in this week's Veteran Salute.
From the time he was little, Terry Gowen loved the military. After playing basketball for a junior college in Nebraska, he decided he wanted to go a different direction, joining the Marines in 1973. Upon completing AIT, Gowen, now part of the 3rd Marine Division, shipped out to Okinawa as part of an expeditionary force.
I was 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, and our platoon was called Suicide Charlie.
During Vietnam, Terry Gowen's platoon would lie in wait on ships off the coast, flown out on helicopters whenever and wherever they were needed.
We would fly into like an LZ, a helicopter land. We thought that they were on the ground, and when it comes down and when they're shooting at you, you're jumping off that thing as fast as you can, and we may be 4 or 5 feet off the ground, and we would just fall on each other.
Gowen's platoon creating perimeters around troops directly fighting the Viet Cong, living up to their Suicide Charlie name.
They call these guys crazy, man. They're Suicide Charlie because they didn't think they would live through it, and they did. And they were some really tough Marines.
Tough Marines who came back home not to a hero's welcome, but to widespread protests.
The Greenpeace people were throwing paint balloons at us, red paint balloons, because we were baby killers and all this other stuff.
After Vietnam, Gowen decided to leave the Marines. But his military career was far from over.
I started working at the municipal airport in Lincoln, and they had all these airplanes flying in, Navy, Marines, Air Force. I talked to these people and says, geez, I want to fly, I want to work on airplanes. And the guy says, well, sure you can.
Gowen became a jet mechanic for the Navy, working on F-4s, A-7s, and dozens of P-3s.
I took care of every instrument, electronic gizmo on that airplane. We'd go out over the ocean and hunt Russian submarines. And at that time, there were a lot of Russian submarines off our coast. You get out there and it just thousands of hours of sheer boredom, interrupted by moments of not terror, but excitement. Oh my God, we got somebody, and the whole thing, everybody wakes up.
In 1981, the Navy came out with a program to turn enlisted sailors into pilots.
A lot of the regular commissioned officers who were pilots were going to the airlines, and so they were short of pilots. Then we went to officer candidate school, like officer and a gentleman, but a lot worse.
After completing flight school, Gowen became a limited duty officer, taking on a number of jobs, from instructing pilots in Corpus Christi.
I taught basic flying, I taught instrument flying, I taught acrobatics, I taught formation flying, the whole thing.
To running an airfield in Japan.
It was about the size of our airfield here at McConnell. We carried 85 airplanes.
Gowen would be promoted 5 more times in the Navy, retiring after 24 years total in the military.
How many times I got shot at, I got in bad situations, very hairy, but the adventure, the camaraderie you have when you deal with the military and these guys overseas and stuff, what they do, it's amazing.
Gowen is currently helping convert a former school board building into the brand new American Legion Post 408. If you'd like to learn more about their progress or assist in their efforts, we have a link to do so on our website. That's ksn.com. Here for you, Hannah Adamson, KSN News 3.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize this week's veteran who served not only the United States Marine Corps, but also the United States Navy. Terry Gowen, thank you so much for your service, sir.
Thank you very much.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.